Not too long ago, a company called Windseeker contacted me and said, hey, would you like to take a look at one of our boards? I looked at the website, picked the one that I thought was the best on the website. So today we're going to take a look at the Windseeker G5 electric skateboard. Welcome to the Vapor Trail channel. I'm Tony, and yeah, if a company contacts me and says, hey, would you like to take a look at one of our electric skateboards? I'm pretty much open to it. It was a little over a year ago that I started on my hunt for an electric skateboard, and I remember looking through all these websites. You know, of course, you're going to find guys that are Amazon affiliates, and they've got a whole list of maybe one board that is one of the brand names that once you get into it and start looking at the boards, you go, oh yeah, I know that brand name. But they typically have a lot of stuff that's linked to Amazon or whatever affiliate stuff they've got. And there's a lot of that out there, and there's nothing wrong with that because it's really up to you in the end to do your research and to find what is exactly right for you. That's another reason why I'm open to reviewing some of these boards from brands that I'm not all that familiar with, because hey, why not? Somebody's probably been looking at it. And one of the things I like to offer with this channel is information for people that are searching. So when Windseeker contacted me, I took a look at their website. They also sell on Amazon, and I'm not an Amazon affiliate, just so you know. On their website, I saw that they have some single motor skateboards, and there's a wide variety. This one is probably their most expensive one. They have a summer sale going on with $200 off right now. They have the suggested retail price of $799 on the website. Right now, it's currently $579. Sure, there are definitely some other e-skates that are in that price range that are more well-known brands. But when I looked at it, I said, this one actually looks pretty good. I mean, let me give you some specs on this. First of all, it's got these cloud wheel type wheels on it, and it's a hub motor board. The board is made of maple. It's only 23 pounds, so it's a pretty lightweight board in comparison to a lot of other boards. That's probably because it doesn't have a huge battery pack on it. In fact, the whole assembly underneath it with the battery pack and the ESC and all that stuff looks exactly like two other boards that I've had here on the channel, J-King and Drescar. But it's different in that those two boards both were belt drive motors, one of them with big all-terrain wheels on it. And I was kind of interested to see both of those boards perform differently, even though they had very similar stuff on the bottom of the board. So I said, well, let's go ahead and take a look at this. They say on their website that the load capacity on this is 330 pounds. I doubt that. They say on their website that the range is 21.8 miles. And it very well might do that, but it's hard to tell because there's no odometer on this or speedometer. It's just got the simple remote with LED lights, a switch on the side for the 3 different speed modes, and that's pretty much about it. They also say 27 mile per hour top speed, and I gotta say, I got up to 24 miles per hour on the medium mode. It has high, low, and medium. Plus, I took this thing up a hill on the high mode, and it just went right up a hill. Now, I don't typically ride these things in high because, look, you know, I'm not a young guy. I do have to be a little bit careful. And like the two boards that I mentioned earlier with the similar underpinnings of it, it does have the LED lights that are built in on the sides, and even those act a little bit differently than the other two boards. So I'm thinking maybe that part of it is like an OEM thing that other manufacturers can buy and use in the manufacture of those, but they can program it the way that they want to. They do have free shipping from the US, which is good because some of the other brands that are more well-known, you might wait up to a month to get one from China. So there you go. And that may be a consideration for you because if summer doesn't last forever and you've only got a month and a half or so left of summer or something like that, you're gonna wanna find somebody that has them in the US to ship them. And the board comes with a 365-day warranty, so a 1-year warranty. That's not too bad. Well, let's do a little ride and talk, and then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts. Tell you, the first thing that I noticed with this board as soon as I got on it was like, man, it is a super smooth ride. I did tighten the trucks off on it. Now, without having a speedometer on the remote, I really don't know how fast I'm going. The wheels feel really good. I don't know if they're OEM cloud wheels or if they've made their own or whatever. It just makes the ride so nice and smooth. But as you may have seen just there, the brakes on this one are also, they're very touchy. So you do have to be careful, boy. You go to put these brakes on at speed and you might get thrown. And it's different with every board that I have. The belt drive motors, they typically make it a lot smoother with the braking. But that's just, yeah, you do have to be careful. And the other thing I want to point out, if you're new to this, if you're not, you probably already know this, but if you're new to this, the brakes on these things are regenerative. So if you've got a full battery and you use your brakes a lot, it's going to maybe overcharge the batteries, so it can damage the batteries. Not only that, it can also make the board malfunction. So I always recommend don't get right on your board and pump those brakes because you might have problems. Just give it a, you want to get it down to 90% before you're even using your brakes if you can. So make sure that your ride doesn't start with going down a hill on full batteries. Now, one place where it really comes into play having wheels like this, though, as opposed to urethane, is if you live in a place where there are a lot of little rocks on the road. Those rocks can stop you pretty easily on urethane, but these, they seem to roll right over it. All right, let's see how she does on some gravel. Well, it almost made it through there. But these are more like urban terrain wheels. They're not, quote, all-terrain wheels. But since this is a hub motor board, these wheels are pretty much as good as it's going to get for it. So yeah, the brakes on this are a little bit jerky, but as with every board is different. Every board that I ride is just a little bit different, and you got to get used to it. Make sure you understand how they work, and then you should be fine. Okay, I turned the Relive app on momentarily. Just want to see if we can get a reading on how fast this board is going in medium speed. Get it all the way to the top of the accelerator. Okay, wide open. And we'll check it. Feels pretty fast to me. Now, I really wish I had put that Relive app on earlier, like when I first started riding, so I could get a little bit more accurate range on this. Maybe I'll do that before I finish this video. But I wanted to point out that I went 24 miles per hour. That's pretty fast in medium speed. No speed wobbles or anything, still felt very comfortable. And that might be because we're on these single kingpin trucks. I don't know. Okay, so we're back here at this hill in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, right here on the Sound. This is a good hill to test on. Now, I've had two other boards that had the same kind of underside of this one, so the same underside parts, I guess, ESC and the batteries and all of that. But both of those were belt driven. They took this hill pretty well. So let's see how this does with hub motors. Give it a little start here. This is in medium gear. I got the throttle pegged right now. picking up a little speed. So again, this is medium speed, so I think in high speed, you probably wouldn't have any problem with this hill. All right, so we're back down at the bottom of the hill again. Again, this is a pretty steep hill, and this time I've got it in high speed. So let's see if that makes, oh, that makes a difference. Wow. Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Yeah, we're basically flying up this hill. Nice. Woo, all right. So high speed is definitely the ticket for a hill, and it had plenty of power, man. I was only about halfway on that accelerator, so pretty nice. I will say these bushings are pretty squeaky, you know, maybe they'll work in, but a lot of times people will just go ahead and replace the bushings on these boards as one of the first things they do. Riptides are really good. So there we go. Wow, okay. Yeah, high speed on this thing's definitely got some torque, man. So there we go. That is the Windseeker G5 900 watt dual motor electric skateboard. It uses hub motors. I prefer the belt drive motors or a direct drive, but hub motors are good. The reason why I like the others is because there's a lot more wheel options for you. On this one, that's pretty much the option you have, or I believe you could probably buy some Cloud Wheel donuts to put those on there as well. These seem an awful lot like Cloud Wheel, so they may be manufactured by Cloud Wheel for this company or something like that. Now, most of the more well-known e-skate brands are going to tell you on their website what the battery pack configuration is. Is it a 12.4 SP or whatever? This one does not show you that at all. All it just tells you that it's 900 watts. And I believe that's referring to the motors themselves. So I really don't know what type of batteries are in here. Is it Mollicell? Is it Sony? Is it Sanyo? Panasonic, you know, I don't know what brand of batteries are in it. I would say that their range estimations that they're giving you are maybe pretty close, but they usually, you got to keep in mind when they're going to give you those ranges on those, it's usually with a rider that's maybe 165 pounds, and they're not doing a lot of uphill and all that kind of stuff, just straight on the roads, but it might be pretty accurate. I'm going to say you probably get about maybe 18 to 20 miles off of it. The only time I've used the high mode on this is if I need to get up a hill or something like that. I find that medium is just fine for me. And as you saw, I got up to 24 miles per hour, but the board seemed very solid, didn't get any speed wobbles or anything like that. I do like the board shape and design of it. It has a nice drop down after the trucks and a nice concave. Does help you to keep your feet on the board. I was pleasantly surprised with how comfortable this board is to ride, and I found myself riding it quite a bit. Now, it's not going to replace the Meepo Hurricane or the X-Way Carbon Atlas for me, but it is a fun board to ride. And if their customer service is really good and you're able to get repairs or returns or whatever on it, and it ships from the US, that might be something to think about. I haven't had to deal with customer service with it, but in my conversations with the company, they seem pretty proactive. If you haven't bought an electric skateboard yet and you're looking at getting them, short boards are a lot more squirrely than something like this. So keep that in mind. I'm seeing more short boards coming out with kicktail and all that, which are great if you are in tight spaces a lot and things like that, or if you're really good at riding a skateboard, that's probably better. But if you're not already very good at riding a skateboard, longboards, for me anyways, I'd say that that's going to be easier for you. I haven't experienced any problems with the board, and I do like riding it. So that is the Windseeker G5. I want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. Likes, comments, shares, subscriptions. Always very important to my channel. So if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, there's a red subscribe button down there. If you click that and the notification bell, you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. Got a lot of stuff coming up here on the channel. As a matter of fact, I just got Cloud Wheel Rovers in, the 165s. They're airless, all-terrain wheels. I've got them for the X-Way Atlas Carbon four-wheel drive board, and I've got them for the Meepo Hurricane. I'm going to put them on both of those boards, and we're going to do some tests with those. There's a whole lot of new boards coming out right now, so looking forward to possibly getting some of those here on the channel as well. We've got the Onsor Black Carve 3. There's a new one from Ace Deck that looks fantastic. This is the time of year if you're looking for something new. They're all coming out with something. If that stuff sounds interesting, well, hopefully you'll be sticking around here on the channel, and I really, really do appreciate your support. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.